What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Saturday we're discussing all things games. One of your hosts, Jerrell. With me is my co-host, my right-hand man, my ABXY, Arthur. What is happening? Nice shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I still have a few going out shirts.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people during COVID, I outgrew some of my old ones.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
It's like, should I go out to eat? Or should I stay inside and order Uber Eats like a hero? And damn it, Uber Eats was. But doing good. I found...
We're talking about Suicide Squad, which is super fun.
Yes, and because I have HBO, I don't have to watch in theaters. Though I kind of want to, just to support it. You know what I mean? Kind of like
I hear that. I feel that.
Kind of like the Sonic thing.
Yeah.
Like, remember I said how the Sonic movie got bullied into making it better.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, do I want to pay $20 for a video on demand? Yeah. You know what? Let's do it. And so even though I saw it on HBO, it sucks because it's being labeled a bomb. But I'm like, to a point, what the fuck is it nowadays?
Yeah. Seriously.
It's like, hey, Mulan, Black Widow, was it called Cruella or DeVille?
It's your lovely face. Maybe I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, because everything is super low.
Yeah, everything's being labeled a bomb now, but it's like, well, it's being labeled bomb just by like theater attendance, but it's like how many people are watching it online?
Right.
And it's like, then I loved it. Like I was telling you, it's my favorite DC movie I've seen yet. It's my favorite like fun one.
Yeah.
It's like, and then it's really funny because we were kind of like back and forth of like agree to disagree, and like this second I just got that of like you were saying how it's a different tone. It's like how like Watchmen. It's like, you know, like I forget if Watchmen's DC, but it's definitely Warner Brothers.
Yeah, DC.
I knew it was Warner Brothers. So I'm like, therefore, by elimination, it should be DC.
Yeah.
But like how that's a really good movie, but not known for its funness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, but again, it's a really good movie on its own. But but of the most of all the DC ones, this one's my favorite, and I would say by far it's definitely the most fun.
Oh yeah, it's very, very, very fun. I mean, for a DC film, pretty fun. I would have to sit back and think as far as like what the next, like what would be next to that, you know? Because I mean the chemistry with like John Cena, was hilarious.
So funny.
Harley Quinn is amazing. All forms.
Did a lot more of her own stunts than I thought.
Yeah, that key locking thing. I guess that was actually her.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though like we mentioned when Preston was here, how Margot Robbie said she's done with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like James Gunn like pulls her back in.
Yeah, I know. It's like, please.
Yeah, because like I told you, and I posted on Facebook to my friends how like there's like this opening action sequence that's like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, and that sets the whole tone. Like if you like that opening action sequence, you're gonna love this movie. If you don't like that opening action sequence, you're not gonna like this movie. It's
right.
Like I was telling you, it's like a perfect self-litmus test. It's like
definitely
either it's like, oh man, that was awesome. Guess what? You got another hour and a half of awesomeness. or you press pause on HBO, go back, and I don't know, watch like the first 5 seasons of South Park.
So for those of you just joining us, welcome to the YouTube channel. If you're hearing us, welcome to the podcast, audio podcast. And if you want to check out as far as for what we're doing, so for example, Arthur, he manages the Twitch stream for the Gamers for Life channel there. If you want to check that out, if you want to check out our video podcast on YouTube, whether it be the clips or the full episodes, if you want to just listen to us, if you don't want to see our beautiful faces, you'd rather just hear us, you can do all those things by going to linktree.com/Gamers for Life. Usually it's streamer links, but streamer links has not been working, so we moved over to Linktree, and it does just as good of a job, if not better. So definitely be sure to do that. And here in the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news while you can watch or listen to what you choose by clicking on the hyperlinks within the description of the episode. So if you have Spotify, you absolutely can take advantage of that. I can't speak to Apple Podcasts or any of the other streaming platforms or applications for podcasting, but Spotify, absolutely, you can click on the hyperlinks, different segments, go directly there. Or if you want to watch or listen to the whole thing, you can do that as well. Hang out with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast. And I will say, Arthur, for this first topic here of the day, talking about the Xbox Showcase, right? So it's coming out. They're doing an update showcase on the 24th of August. So we're a little bit around the corner. We got, 12 days per se. At least we're recording on a Thursday. So from today, it's 12 days. But of course, you're watching or hearing this on Saturday if you're just premiering watching this or you're listening to this. But, So before we go into the showcase,
I was just about to talk.
No, This actually is a good system here we have. So before we go into the showcase, we're going to talk about that. That'll be the first topic. But before that, it has been very much a season of betas, if you will.
We had the Halo AI teabagging beta, which I'm very much here for. If we can get these kids crying from AI, I'm all here for it.
I think it's funny that they even released an additional news story saying hey, they won't be that aggressive.
Oh, what? No, that's my favorite part. No.
Maybe you can control the AI, being super teabag, high difficulty something.
It's like when you play Smash Brothers, you can control the level of AI. It's like on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do they teabag? Oh, 10. Dude, if an AI sticks you with their grenade against teabag, that's like a rite of passage.
Oh man, brings me back to the Counter-Strike days or something. But so speaking of betas, Back 4 Blood, it went live.
Second beta.
Yeah, the open second beta went live today, the 12th. So 3 days or something. It's going to be open for
till Monday. So
Monday.
It's 12. It's 12 to the 16th.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this, Saturday. Download the beta. It's live.
Get on it.
Till Monday. So I played the first round of betas a little bit. I only played a little bit because by the time I got access to it, because it was a closed/open beta. It was one of those betas you do work for. So we talked about it. And we said, hey, if you pre-ordered it, you get access to the beta. And that was when we learned. Oh, that was when I learned. Oh yeah, I forgot. By pre-ordering it via Game Pass for that beta, you did not get access to it.
Right.
It was you to email them, get a link, and da-da-da-da-da. But the new beta that's live now, as of today, the time of recording, till the 16th, is an open beta via Game Pass.
Yeah.
Via Game Pass. So if you don't have Game Pass, it might be close to you. I just know in terms of the Xbox HUD, when it says beta, the Game Pass logo is right there with it. So
I know for PC, you just go to Steam, download it.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you have to register through Warner Brothers, in order to get access to it.
I had to do that for that's normal. I had to do that for the last one. I had to do that for the last one too.
Yeah.
So I had to do that for the first one of beta, and
so you liked it. You liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I immediately sent you an image of the scene from Ratatouille. At the end, the guy eats the soup and the flashbacks, and it's the bowl, and instead of the plate his mom made, it's a plate of Left 4 Dead, and it is. It's in a good way. It's Left 4 Dead, and I'd argue it's a little harder.
Really?
And the way I'd say it's a little harder is picture every difficulty, but one notch up. Meaning, this Back 4 Blood's easy is Left 4 Dead's normal. And vice versa. Back 4 Blood's normal is Left 4 Dead's hard. I mean, there are some parts where you can die in easy. And it's weird because I meant to look this up. If they're involved, but the HUD is very World War Z like.
Okay.
Your health bar is in chunks. It's not a health bar. It's health chunks.
Yeah.
And then there's there's a currency now. Again, kind of there's this currency now, kind of like how it was in in Left 4 Dead, not Left 4 Dead, World War Z.
Yeah.
And so you load the game, you play it, and the way it works is as you're going through the map, you can pick up like I think it's like copper, like 50 copper, 50 copper, 50 copper, 50 copper. And at the start of every safe house is like a shop, and you can use it to buy there's attachments for your guns now.
Yeah.
And like that, it's like the way it's done. It's again, it kind of reminds me of World War Z. There's attachments for your guns. You can buy more Molotovs. You can buy Molotovs or buy grenades in that shop. You can buy team buffs, like increasing the number of medical items you have, increasing the efficiency of medical items, increasing the number of bombs you can have. You can level up your guns or buy a better version of it. And
what do you think of the card system?
it's really cool. I like it. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple, which is good because some card systems get too much. And you're like, oh fuck. Yeah, I like it. Again, you know, the way to describe this is like, let's say this was Left 4 Dead 3. It's like, let's say that it's easier to describe. It's like Left 4 Dead 3, but with more mechanics rather than change mechanics.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds similar, but on context, as gamers know, if you're to tell us you're changing mechanic, we go boo. But if you tell us you're adding mechanics, yay. So this is definitely on the yay side.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a little harder. Something that's different from Left 4 Dead is you can aim down sights, but unless you have like scoped guns, it's not really worth it because the kick of the gun,
the recoil,
it's a little too much. But but you can still do the classic hip fire thing.
Okay.
There's melee weapons. Like Left 4 Dead, there are melee weapons, and like Left 4 Dead, they can take up your secondary. So it's like you can have a machine, you can have an AK-47 for main gun, or like a knife.
And they took away a certain, or I shouldn't say take away because it's a different game, but one of the biggest modes from Left 4 Dead that they took away from Back 4 Blood. What was it? The campaign versus, right? They removed that. That's not available for Back 4 Blood. I guess some people were peeved about it.
There is a versus. There is a versus. So they're slowly. Now I haven't played the versus, just because I heard the beta servers were but again, that's why it's beta.
Fair.
And so, but I think they did make a statement saying they're not close to it. Like it can be added later, which I'll be happy to.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Turtle Rock, they're pretty good with listening to community. The fact this game exists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so
I agree.
But again, in terms of campaign, I'm here for it. My only thing I'd say that Left 4 Dead had over this is I like the AI in Left 4 Dead a little bit more.
Really?
Because I don't know if you remember, but the AI in Left 4 Dead butt hugged you. Like they were just like never leaving your side, and which was good because it was strength in numbers.
Right.
Like it was to the point where campaign versus, to a point, was actually more difficult the more bots the enemy had.
Yeah.
Because you're more likely to go up against a noob human that fucking wanders off on their own, whereas the bots never go off on their own.
Right. Yeah.
So it was harder. It was harder as a zombie to win if they had more bots. This one, it's not night and day. It's not night and day, but it is like a little bit. It's a little noticeable. It's not like they're complete idiots, but it is again a little bit noticeable that they are a little more quote unquote independent.
Interesting.
And now I would argue if I had to make an argument, I would say that's maybe they're trying to make the bots quote unquote more organic, or human like. But again, as a veteran Left 4 Dead player, I'm like, no.
Yeah, the difficulty.
I miss them never being more than 6 inches away from me.
Yeah, I think one of the cause I had a very small time with Back 4 Blood. I downloaded it and booted it up, but man, it's so funny because I remember I was trying to get into a quick match, just between breaks at work, and it was no one was able to connect. There's no friends on to play, and I'm like, damn, if you don't if you don't have people to connect with to play online, it's enjoy the target practice before starting a mission. So I was like, shit. But the game looks good. It looks good. It's a lot of fun. It looks like fun. So I'll be looking forward to hopefully I can play a match with you before the open beta ends. So.
Remember, it is crossplay, and it is crossplay.
Yes.
And it is Game Pass.
Thank God for that.
The game's Game Pass, but as we discussed, you don't have Game Pass via PC to play the beta. Now, one thing I would say, based on my last thing, I'd say if you want to play it and you're by yourself, go play it. Again, the AI is fun. Now, of course games are funner with your friends, but this is a beta, and if you wanted to try it before the game comes out, try the bots. Try the bots also because people can drop in, drop out, like us. Like when I played it, when I played that one full set once with Prime and Caleb of Uwu Squad. Someone joined in and filled that 4th spot.
Nice.
For those of you listening that haven't seen gameplay at all, there is a slight difference. I wouldn't argue there's classes, but we mentioned the card system. And so the way the card system works is like you get extra perks like 10% more ammo, 10% more health. You can go down an extra time. You can go down 4 times, step 3 before you're dead. And every character has like a different card or trait. Like there's one guy that has more ammo for everybody. The mom that I played had that. I think the mom that I played, her thing was she can go down a 4th time instead of 3 before dying. There's another guy that has like an instant kill second weapon. There's another guy that has a pistol with infinite ammo. So it's not classes because with the store, what I mentioned, the copper and the store thing, you can buy a shotgun, you can buy an LMG, you can buy a sniper, you can buy a Magnum. But again, the characters have differences via their perk card.
Okay, right on. And speaking of all things Xbox,
yay. I'm never against that.
Which usually is a very, very positive thing. Going into the showcase that I was mentioning. So the showcase, once again, there's going to be an updated Xbox showcase on August 24th. So definitely we want to check that out. But we kind of wanted to do a little bit of just kind of like picking each other's brains on potentially what they would potentially expand on, what we're excited as far as to expand on here. So obviously, if we talk about going back to the July Xbox showcase of last year, right? The big kahuna, Halo Infinite, right? We got the beta that they released, played. So we have more hands-on experience with it. So I'm wondering if they will add anything into the showcase, that may be something to do with more of like the campaign, terrain.
I was going to say campaign because, E3 gave us the trailer into the multiplayer. They've done interviews and you've done interviews and video releases of more info to the multiplayer. Then we got the multiplayer beta. So I think definitely they're going to give us more campaign. And real quick, the reason why I had my epiphany face of and why I don't play poker, I just realized August 24th is the same day Psychonauts 2 comes out.
Oh, shit. Nice.
So in terms of picking my brain, I think we might get more Psychonauts. Or like, shit. If not more, maybe just like a new trailer,
some update or
like,
something.
Hey, because they might, because to a point, E3 is known for blah blah blah, demo available today, or hey, that indie game we just showed, guess what? It's available for download now. Because that's how E3 was. Because E3's there was a lot of moments like that in the past. Not so much from Nintendo, but Sony and Xbox. Like, it's like, hey, that game we just showed, guess what? It's available right now. So I feel like they might do that whole available now or available today thing with Psychonauts.
Now let me ask you for Halo. This is one of the biggest things that I'll be very annoyed if this doesn't happen. But I want to ask you this: are we finally going to get a release date for Halo Infinite?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so because we're coming up on it. I mean, because we're 3 months or quarter out.
Yeah,
we should.
Like we've discussed, it's hard to criticize Xbox with the great decisions that they've been making over the years.
Many decisions.
Exactly. And I've given, I always try to give benefit of the doubt, especially for, our friend and head of Xbox. At least he's a friend in our hearts. Phil Spencer, shout out to you. And
Demigod.
yeah.
Demigod Phil Spencer.
Pretty much. And, you know, even for the article that came out that discussed that, where he was saying, you know, the reason for no release date yet, as far as just finding a window to in place it. So I was like, okay. I was like, this is literally the mascot of the console, but I'll throw you a bone. That's fine.
I have a bit.
We need to have a release date.
I have a burrito bet.
Oh,
So,
burrito bets are back.
I'm biased. Well, here's okay. So Tuesdays are traditionally the release date for games. Now you could say, well, Monday 9 p.m., but the calendar date you see in posters and shit is the Tuesday date. So, because remember he said at most, you know, he said a release date is a 3-week window, or so arguably the almost the entire month of November.
Yeah.
I would argue it's going to be the last day of November, November 30th. And the reason why I make my epiphany face is because, you know, narcissistic me, that's the day after my fucking birthday. And if it comes out Monday, if it comes out the Monday 9 p.m., Cyber Monday, then it comes out on my birthday.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay.
So
you think November 30th?
Yeah, because if I'm right, Jarrell's gonna buy me a burrito for my birthday.
Well, because games for the past 10 years or whatnot, originally they came out on Tuesdays, but they've really recalibrated. I feel like where they release on Fridays now, still, right? Do some games come out on Tuesdays still?
I think just because how long we've been at GameStop, I have Tuesday stuck in my head.
Yeah, no, I know that's definitely burned in my brain too. I'm gonna say the 19th.
It actually might be. It might be Thursday now because if you look, at the October, as we know, Broketober.
Yeah.
6 is Far Cry, 13th is something. The 20th, then there's Battlefield. It might be all over the place now because October 24th is Battlefield. That's a Sunday. October 11th is Far Cry, and that's a Monday. So I might be all over the fucking place now. But
weird. Yeah, because usually Nintendo has been the king of Sunday releases.
Yeah,
remember that back in the day.
I remember that, like Pokemon, but fucking whatever.
Yeah,
because I have like again. Oh, man, Nintendo people are crazy loyal. That's how I always remembered when a Nintendo game come out because it'll be like a random Sunday in random Sunday in September and there's like 10 people out the door and I'm like Nintendo, that's right.
That old amoeba situation, Jesus Christ. So moving further here into the Xbox showcase. Just to solidify the burrito bet.
30th.
You're thinking the 30th.
I say the advertised. Not to give myself like wiggle room, but I'm saying the advertised date the 30th. So if it like truly drops on a Monday at 9 p.m., I still get credit.
Okay, I'm gonna say the 19th of November.
Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens there.
Which means
technically it should be Thursday at 9. I should say the 18th.
Yeah.
I should say I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna say the 18th, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. EST. Or not EST, PST, because the whole 3-hour thing.
Okay, I thought you were gonna like Freudian slip and be like, 9 p.m. PTSD. Like, nope, that's not. That's not what we're doing. Not the right acronym, Jerrell.
So continuing on here, we got State of Decay 3.
Yes.
We should be hearing some more stuff about that, right?
And there's a lovely rumor about that game.
Really?
It might be on Unreal Engine 5.
Oh.
And the reason that's a big deal is because if you've never played State of Decay 3, you play it and you can tell it's arguably not it's like in that limbo where it's not an indie game where like 2 people made it, but it's not a AAA game. It's like that middle ground. It's like that middle ground of like it looks good, but it's not AAA, but it's definitely not by one person. I'm not knocking it. Valheim is crazy. But if State of Decay 3 goes to Unreal 5 and I have that Series X now,
Yeah, you're gonna get all the things.
I'm gonna kill all the beautiful fucking zombie deer.
Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna see those deers in Unreal Engine 5, baby.
I'm just gonna recreate Bambi 2, Mama's Revenge. Not on my game, bitch.
That is hilarious.
Where's my boy?
So that should be interesting. So gameplay, I'm looking forward to some gameplay. Hopefully for State of K3, that would be a joy to see. Definitely.
If you haven't played it, play it. It's an amazing game.
Nice. I feel like I'm always burnt out on seeing motorsport because I feel like I just don't care enough. But
sports. It's in the category of like niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the people that love it.
Yeah, because gone are the days, gone are the golden age of racing games, and it was like Need for Speed and Burnout and shit and Grid, where it was like, you didn't have to be a fan of racing games to play Need for Speed Heat. You're like, that was just a fun fucking game.
Yeah. Facts.
You don't have to be a fan of, car parts and shit to like Need for Speed Underground. Now it gave people that were a fan of tuning cars a venue or a game to like even more, but again, you didn't have to be a part of that car culture or car community to love it.
I wish they would remaster that, by the way. I feel like that's just like the mistletoe of racing games for EA, that they would make a lot of fucking money if they remade Underground.
Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, and Underground 2, by far their most successful titles. I still listen to this sound. When it comes to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I still listen to this soundtrack sometimes. We mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Green glow under my car. Need for Speed Underground 2 again. But again, the era's gone. And I feel like nowadays racing games have become a niche.
Yeah.
A niche market.
Yeah.
Big market because the games do well, but again, on large scale, does this attract everybody? No.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like now I'm down a rabbit hole of racing games, but I feel like there are some racing games where like they deserved more credit than they got. Like, remember, I think it's called it's not the Club. It's there's a game where it was basically like Mario Kart, but it wasn't Mario Kart.
Oh,
Blur.
Yeah, Blur was
fun.
Blur was like Mario Kart. Blur was like that middle ground between Twisted Metal and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart's over here. Mario Kart's over here where you're playing Yoshi and your beloved characters. Twisted Metal's over here where you're playing Rob Zombie, killing a kid who's remote controlling his dead zombie dad, driving a taxi cab. Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah.
And in the middle was Blur. Like, hey, pick a car, shoot missiles, speed up, blow shit up.
Yeah.
Another car game, in terms of nostalgia, when it comes to nostalgia, you have to go down the rabbit hole a little bit.
Burnout or Split Second?
Neither. Spy Hunter.
Oh my god.
Dude, the amount of chickens I killed.
Oh my god, dude. Spy Hunter. Dude, that brings me back. Now I feel old.
Dude, Spy Hunter, that was the game. For the reason I'm not talking about, it was like amazing PS2 racing game where you're like a spy car, and as the level would go on, your car would keep crumbling apart into a different vehicle.
Yeah.
So like you would start as a car, and then by the time the mission was over, you would either end as a motorcycle or like a jet ski.
Oh my god!
And I remember it wasn't. I remember that was one of the few games before achievements were achievements. It had like a challenge, or like it had like a challenge, and I definitely remember getting the challenge of like running over 100 chickens. Like for whatever reason, these maps are just littered with chickens. And every time you round one over, and like a fucking poof of white feathers would come out. Dude. And I just remember getting that challenge of like run over 100 chickens.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, man, I feel like it's funny now that I think about, if we're not talking about the actual driving simulators like Forza, I feel like there's a couple of games that EA is kind of sitting on, or just game companies in general sitting on, because I would love for them to explore another Blur. I think Split Second was great, but that studio shut down or whatever it was, and I actually liked that game too. And then fucking, what you're talking about, Spy Hunter. Yeah, it's very interesting where there's this slow, obviously fucking burnout.
Yeah,
you know.
I still remember renting. I remember renting Spy Hunter on a Friday, and then me and my two friends, Ernie and Miguel, doing the whole like classic Friday night thing. Man, you go to Hollywood Video or Blockbuster, get your game. Dude, you get like a 2-liter Dr. Pepper or Coke, and you get like the OG fucking Pizza Hut stuffed crust pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
And compete who has the best level, who had the hardest fart. It was just dude, like
that was a moment in history.
That was like us being old people, like back in my day.
Gamer fuel. Well, now we got the gamer fuel that has alcohol in it now.
Yes. Real quick. Speaking of gamer fuel, I love how like this like dimension of Forza is like, you know what? Back in my day, I remember farting with my friends. It's like Forza
cheese crust cheese pizza.
Yeah, it was like Forza to farting on the friend who fell asleep first. That's how this.
This has never happened to me in a conversation with Forza ever. So I don't know what's happening. It's nostalgia. Yeah.
To my credit, you started the nostalgia.
I did.
I just went down the rabbit hole.
I'll own this.
You bought a trowel to the rabbit hole. I was like, I got a shovel. Let's go. Fucking pepperoni.
Let's shovel knight this shit.
Pepperoni stuffed crust pizza farts.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. EA. Yeah. Again. Why I say EA is not what it used to be, dude. I'm not. Dude, I can't tell you last time I fucking farted my friend playing EA games.
Especially in these past couple of years.
I know that's a grading scale. How you know EA is now no longer the fun company it was. I can't think of the last time I farted on my friend while playing a game.
And then moving on to the next thing here that hopefully we see some more of.
Yes.
Avowed.
Yes. Obsidian. Dude, I'm telling you, if you need a pinch hitter to fucking make a great game, Obsidian. Again, they're under the same roof. Like I'm telling you, Obsidian, arguably the last 5 years, Obsidian's picked up, the baton where Bethesda's fucking shit the bricks.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 was ass. Fuck you, Outer Worlds. and now people are worried about, Elder Scrolls 6. Don't worry. Hold my beer. Avowed.
Now, question here. Do you think we'll see a little bit of gameplay for Avowed for this showcase coming around? Because I love the teaser trailer. The whole Arrow's first-person view shenanigans. I loved it. Will we see more?
I'm hoping. Mm-hmm. But I don't think so. Just because remember something I have learned, especially since the Elder Scrolls 6 topic.
Yeah.
That just because you see a cinematic trailer does not mean the game is anywhere near fucking done.
That's an extra 30 minutes right there. The history of that shit.
I don't even mean like almost done. Like remember, like at the time rumored but now confirmed talks of Todd Howard almost regretting showing the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement because he's like that game really hasn't even hit a fucking keyboard. Like it is nowhere near fucking done.
I think I remember there was an article and we didn't get to address it on the episode when I had it on the list of things. But I think even Phil Spencer said that Starfield would come out before Elder Scrolls 6 would. So I was
we knew that. That was.
I think
we knew that, but that was we didn't know. Okay, at the time of E3 of Bethesda trying to pick up from the dumpster fucking turd fire that was Fallout 76. I'll never not shit in that game. Fuck you. We didn't know what was coming out first, Elder Scrolls 6 or Starfield.
Yeah,
but then now we know. So that was the bravado, the impact. There you go.
Yeah.
To the impact of that announcement's kind of like calmed down a little bit, but again, so that's why it says. So back to your question of will we see gameplay from Avowed? Again, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a hard toss to see if it'll happen or not.
Because again, just because you see a cinematic trailer, you have no idea when that game is gonna be done. Case in point, fucking Dying Light.
Yeah.
You just never know.
There's so
many games.
Yeah. That's why I said like that can be an extra 30 minutes there, because that's practically a fucking, that's a short documentary for the gaming industry as far as for how misleading CG trailers have been. It's an interesting conversation, definitely.
Just real quick, another example that's not another example of why CG trailers can be totally misleading, not only in terms of release date, just in terms of fucking game development.
Yes.
BioWare and EA, well, mainly BioWare, I think it was Austin, had no idea what fucking game they were making until that Anthem trailer at E3 dropped.
Wow.
Like the developers who was in charge of making that game are like, that's what we're fucking making? Oh shit.
That's crazy.
It's like you're developing X, Y, and Z, and the trailer comes out for it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're like, oh fuck. So another, just an example, another reason why Anthem was a shit show of a launch. Again, developers really, the people who are in charge of making the game, again, that just also that goes to show you the people who make the cinematic trailer aren't always the people making the fucking game.
Exactly.
So it can be that could be somebody else that's like, hey, you good at like this? Cool, make an animated trailer. And then the people making the game, aka Anthem and BioWare, like, oh shit, that's what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Because I even remember, I don't want to say this too much, but this is still interesting. I remember even like when it comes to like E3 and stuff, like the king of like trailers, the CG stuff that never really happened, and even like a lot of things where like the graphics, talking about the graphics where it's like, oh no, this is all on a PC. This had nothing to do with in-game, the console. Now things are a little bit better.
They're more, at least, if not better, at least transparent.
Yes, very much more transparent.
Like you can have a console exclusive game shown at E3, but they're like, by the way, this is not a console.
No, very much more transparent, and that's what I appreciate too from Phil Spencer. Just kind of wrapping it back to Avowed, like he's one of the only like upper echelon like people that have publicly states on games that he knows that gamers are looking forward to. Like people were looking for, like asked like, hey, what's the deal on Elder Scrolls? What's the deal with Starfield?
He definitely, not to go too much off tangent, but again, he definitely has his ears to the ground.
Yes, I love that.
And I'll try to do my best to not fuck up this train. What's another prediction? Since I was in charge with the digging through the nostalgia factor last topic. What's the next one?
Speaking of Phil Spencer trying to avoid Bethesda taking a train to hell, Hellblade coming out. What were you trying to do?
No, yeah, just
okay.
The showcase stuff.
Oh yeah.
Real quick with Hellblade, I think we're definitely gonna see more because there is that tweet. Remember that was a social media post?
Yeah.
Of ice. It was ice. It was ice moving and you seeing relics.
Oh yeah.
And then people thought, oh my god, God of War's coming to Xbox. No, it's not. It's Hellblade.
It's like wait a minute.
And that was like, and it was really funny because I forget where I saw, but it was like the most like comment thing. Like, like
most trending on YouTube or some shit.
Yeah. Like guys, this isn't God of War. This is Hellblade.
It's like, I'm so sorry.
But to be fair, for a split second, I didn't lose my mind, but I was like confused. Like, that can't be God of War. Like, oh yeah, Hellblade. Okay, Hellblade. Because I would say at least color scheme.
Yeah.
Because again, it was ice and the blue relics and the same color scheme that God of War has been since for the last iteration.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because of that social media post, we're absolutely gonna get more info on Hellblade.
Yeah. So that should be really interesting. I need to finish the first one. Very good games. Really good. It's a really good game. First one.
What was the behind the scenes topic again? Like paranoia or schizophrenia?
Yeah.
Remember that? That was like a news thing. As like the maker of the game did their best to illustrate or show what like a certain disease is like dementia or something like that.
Yeah, it's not dementia, but yeah, like there is an actual professor of the study.
But like that was not their goal, but that was on purpose. Like that was like
that was like very intended.
That was an intended thing of like the writer or whoever.
Yes, Psychosis.
Psychosis. There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the. So I wonder if that's going to be a thing in part 2. I mean,
I think it will. I think it's a part of Senua. And then obviously for that game, you want to have your headphones because it's like that's like a part of the gameplay, and obviously hearing those voices, within her own head, that you're hearing. The sound engineering is really great, and obviously for Hellblade 2. Or maybe not, obviously, if you don't know, but Unreal Engine 5 will be in that one.
We said it last episode. If you have not seen demos of what Unreal 5 is capable of, go see it.
Absolutely.
We argue about next-gen consoles and shit. Again, to a point, it's about gaming hardware.
Yeah.
And, like, not gaming hardware, but, like, the games. Like, you can have a next-gen game be 8 pixels. The next-gen console can have Minecraft 2.
Yeah.
64-bit, whatever. But Unreal Engine 5 is the true future of games right now.
Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. No doubt about it. And I know you mentioned chickens before. I'm going to jump here to one of the big kahunas.
Go on.
If there's anything that reminds me of chickens, it's Fable. Running around chasing those chickens on the farm when you're a lad. Are we gonna see some more Fable, man?
I'm Fable for me was my first experience of being lied to for a game.
Really?
Remember, because Fable was the whole thing. Hey, if you carve your name in a tree, and when you grow up, you can still see your carvings, and they showed all what the games would be capable of, and none of that shit happened. So Fable for me was the first experience of being lied to as a gamer. So it has that bitter taste has never left my mouth.
Oh my God, Arthur!
What? No, that was a big deal.
Nothing else though, because there's a lot of the game. There's a lot in that game. It's fun.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, like, for people that were like, for me, crazy researching, doing all that stuff. Yeah. That was a big deal. Like all these things promised. Like that was arguably the first major No Man's Sky situation. Like for a lot of people, that was like, to a point, that was like again, for game journalists and stuff, where the culture might change, but again, in terms of newsworthy stuff, that was a big deal. Like they listed all these things the game was going to have, and like nope. I'm not saying the game was bad, in the sense of like it was a cyberpunk unfucking playable, but it definitely was all these promised things, and none of it was delivered. And I just really haven't gone to a Fable since, especially since that last fucking game that didn't exist, Fable Legends or some shit. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was the gameplay was entirely like different too, right?
It wasn't the same fucking game. It was like, again, it was like, hey, let's have not like Overwatch, but like, again, like a totally fucking not Fable game. So between like,
I don't even know was it the same developers.
Fucking it was Fable, and to my knowledge, their license isn't out there.
Because I figured, because I think the gameplay was completely different. I don't know if it was story. I don't know if it was turn based or what, but
yeah, it wasn't the same game remotely at all.
Yeah,
and so between like them lying, and then that fucking Fables Legends shit, and then that one other Fables game that never fucking came out, I'm not excited for this.
Fable 2 was really fun. I really liked that one. Fable 3, I remember my brother, he was mowing through these, and I remember the third one was a lot shorter.
When was Fable 2? When was Fable 3?
It was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah, and since then, they've had a shitty game that wasn't the Fable at all, and another game that never came out.
Yeah, but I mean, there are people that are excited about it. I understand your position, but there's a lot of there's a reason why they're coming out with it. But I'm curious on if we'll see anything from it, just because I was hearing something too. Obviously, there's another rumor. And try not to really divulge into rumors, but there's a rumor saying that the graphics could potentially mirror a Witcher 3. So like having like that crazy fantasy stuff. I always love the music for Fable in like a large open world. I doubt we'll see that much, but
is that kind of Fable known for its kind of like cartoony-ish style?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you think going more realistic is like bad?
I don't know if I would like it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because Fable's made a staple. Fable's kind of made a quote-unquote staple, just having that cartoony-ish style. Like the way to describe the Fable character is almost to the T. Mm-hmm. It's like that old school Disney movie, like the Ichabod Crane one. like his body figure and the lanky legs and the thick thighs and thinning calves and you know what I mean. Just, when I picture a Fable character, like if you're showing me a Fable character and like Ichabod Crane from the Headless Horseman like 60s cartoon, it's like copy and paste.
And I might be misspeaking as far as the description. I know something regarding to what they're saying it potentially might be. So it could be just the vast open world, maybe not necessarily the graphics, but
I know it's a rumor, but real quick, I know it's a rumor, but would you like it if it was that realistic style or no?
No, but the vast open worldness I might not mind.
Yeah,
so yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I doubt this game is ready for gameplay.
Here's my question: is like, because here's the thing, between No Man's Sky, between the big three fuck ups, which is No Man's Sky, Fallout 76, and Cyberpunk, the quote unquote like bar, like the gamers bar of what's acceptable has definitely deservedly and justifiably fucking increased.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't even know who's going to be working on this too.
Yeah, I'm wondering how. I'm nervous for it, and that has nothing to do with them. I'm just saying, like, now, again, how many studios have like let us down again from anywhere from an indie team of 13 people? Because No Man's Sky, even though it was advertised like a AAA game, in terms of like how it was made, it was kind of made like indie. It was like a team of like 13 people.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky was. The team's grown since.
Yeah.
But at day one launch, it was 13. So from anywhere from a team of 13 to like Bethesda and CD Projekt Red. And remember, CD Projekt Red is the largest game studio in Europe. So I don't know if you've ever mentioned that, but just again to let you know how big of a news that was that Cyberpunk fucked up. Is again the biggest studio in Europe made that. so again with how collectively our bar for, especially for RPGs, has gone up. I'm nervous for it. And again, that has nothing to do with like Fable and everything I previously mentioned. That's just with this bar level being high. Like for me, it's like I think Avowed's going to clear that level. We'll be fine. Will Fable clear it?
Oh no, you make it that's a great point. That's a great point because for Avowed, we know who's working on it. We know their track record and we know their delivery, which they've executed. That arguably right now they've executed RPGs the best, since old school BioWare days.
And they have another RPG coming out.
Outer Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds 2.
Yes, which also will be amazing.
I hope we get that. I hope we get more of that. I think we actually might get more Outer Worlds 2 than Avowed at the showcase.
That's a good point.
The reason I say that is just because I know this is really skeptical. I could say what I've seen, even though we haven't seen part 2. Well, we've seen part 1. It's a 36-hour game.
Yeah.
Which is, again, like nothing near like a Fallout 306-hour, 100-hour game.
Right.
Just aesthetically speaking, Avowed has that vibe. This will be a long fucking game.
Yeah.
So because of that, and I think, and Outer Worlds 2 gave us loose gameplay, at least with the world building.
True.
True. I love the. And by the way, if you haven't seen the Outer Worlds 2 announcement trailer that was at E3, go watch it. It was the funniest thing. It was like
great.
It was kind of like it was on the same par of like the movie credits of Deadpool.
Yeah.
It was like, and here we show a vast world with a crescendo music. Yep, there it goes. And now we're going to introduce bad music with an evil world. Just kind of like the pretty much the announcement trailer was a parody on itself.
Yeah.
Done really well.
Very well.
Again, so between what we've seen, again, the cinematic trailer announcing Avowed, and we've played, I have played part 1. Again, and so knowing that, or betting that Outer Worlds 2 was going to be a shorter game, I think we might get more Outer Worlds stuff 2 first before Avowed.
That's a good point. That's a really good point too. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because definitely, and fuck it, I want them to take their time with Avowed. For how long it's going to be, and then if it's going to be a substitute for a Skyrim, you know what I mean? And arguably, it might be a more enjoyable substitute depending on how Bethesda follows through. I'm all for that, definitely. So we'll see.
Does Obsidian have? I wish I knew Obsidian's people more. Like, I wish I had an Obsidian equivalent of Todd Howard. So I can like smack Todd Howard and then shake this other man or woman's hand to be like, "You're awesome, Todd. Shut up. We're not talking about this."
I know, seriously. I love that Phil Spencer's. He's watching Todd with like a hawk.
As he should.
Stuff. Absolutely.
As he should. Like we mentioned on a few episodes back. Like now that they're under Microsoft's wing, hey, guess what, Todd? The days of you releasing an unfinished game, which has been every fucking Bethesda game. Now, mind you, I love Skyrim, but we can all agree Bethesda's not known at all.
Oh yeah,
at all.
A lot of fucking
for launching games without bugs. Again,
Yep.
Skyrim is an amazing game. I still play the remaster now. In fact, I just re-downloaded it for my Xbox Series X.
Oh, nice.
'Cause I want to play it. It's a fun game, but again, known for releasing games with a couple dozen fucking bugs.
Unequivocally.
At launch. So again, I think under Xbox's roof or Microsoft's roof, that era that they've been used to since birth is gone.
A fair point you make there, sir. And then speaking in the world of Xbox, as we talk about the lovelies of Game Pass and whatnot, Games Radar talks about how Phil Spencer wants the Xbox app to be on as many devices as possible. Part of this title here on Games Radar. Continuing on the article here, it says here in quote, something strange has happened to video game consoles over the last 3 years. The concept of cloud streaming and cross-platform play has dissolved the whole idea of a standalone machine with a disk drive, its own online service, and exclusive titles. And while Sony has been somewhat slow to embrace the coming concept of video game metaverse, Microsoft has embraced it. At E3 2021, the focus on Game Pass and the multi-platform possibilities of the Xbox app. Xbox isn't a console anymore, it's a platform. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, is acutely aware of the changes happening in the industry, both in the terms of technology and culture. Games aren't what they used to be. In some ways, they have been accelerated by COVID-19. He says here in quote, one of the things I look at early in the pandemic was how many new friend connections got made on Xbox Live, he says. It literally was tens of millions in the first month, and it just continued to grow, end quote. Some of that is just been network activity increasing as people played more games, but as an industry, we also saw things like Among Us, which had been out for a couple of years, gained a lot of popularity. I think it was a reflection of the social capability that gaming has. Partly this is about generational change, but also I think through the pandemic, games are becoming a place for public dialogue, community, and discussion that raises the responsibility for us as an industry of what we should stand for. End quote. And let me read one more thing here just to kind of dive into the specifics here. Let me read this part here. It says, we should just all recognize that not everybody grew up with a controller in their hand, he said. Said, I don't envy movies or TV or books, but I think there's an accessibility that those media have. That is something that we should think about as an industry. Let's say I want to go play the next great console game. So I got to buy this console. So I've got to hook it up. I don't know how to use a controller because I haven't done it that before. So I'm going to practice and learn. We think a lot about that accessibility point, and not to bring it back to Game Pass, but some of it is some of that is financial, you know. These games are $70. It's a lot of money to compare to these art forms that we talk about. I'll stop there and quote. I just love his brain, dude. I just love his visionary mind of really getting it. You know, really getting it not only from a game perspective, but also just the power of it. And then obviously, you know, the biggest plus as far as Microsoft having that capability, because, you know, as we talked about before, you know, Microsoft is, you know, software-based company, you know, so having that power to implement this so well, it's really changing, again, you know, the industry of gaming. It's funny, conversely, or on the other side of the fence, might be the same wording, but Hideo Kojima, there's an article that said he prefers discs. The part of me is like, how about you just announce whatever you're working on?
Sorry, Hideo. I gotta disagree on that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I wanted to get is, and the reason I made an epiphany face while you're reading that. Okay, 2 reasons why I made faces during your reading.
Yeah.
They're very soft on Sony. Like, well, Sony's a little slow to cross-platform. They're fucking against it. Sony is very publicly like, to your face. Here's a tweet. Fuck cross-platform.
He's being very nice about it.
By the way, it's not verbatim. That's reading the context. But one thing I'll definitely say that I was looking up, just get some numbers. So remember we covered the story early on in our show, like one of the first episodes, that because again, COVID is what definitely took the gaming industry to the forefront of the world.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because it wasn't because of the fandom, it wasn't because of tweets. It's because, unfortunately, fucking money.
Yeah.
And 2020 wrapped up, and it was like, oh, wow, this is the most profitable industry on the planet, defeating the next 3 combined.
Right, exactly.
So that's when we had a number of that over the, so like, for example, Game Pass right pre-lockdown had 5 million users.
Yeah.
And then over 3 months, tripled to 15 million. Forbes has an article, as of April 22nd of this year, 2021, they surpassed 30 million.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
And the one thing I was saying, there's a reason, yeah, I love Game Pass. I love Game Pass, and I respect Phil Spencer, again, and not shitting on Sony, but being constructive with Sony. You look at Phil Spencer and you look at Jim Ryan. While Phil Spencer has his ear to the ground, knows what the community wants, and is clearly profiting from it, Jim Ryan is actively ignoring community. Like, hey, we like this. Fuck you, we're closing this store.
Yeah.
Like, again,
yeah.
Last night I read, and this is really specific, but it's something for me.
Yeah.
Is like, again, we're still affected by COVID. We're still affected by lockdowns. Entertainment wise, there's not a lot of quote unquote new shit. So it's like, hey, we want to watch old things or do like that. It's like, hey, you know what? I feel like watching The Shawshank Redemption. Hey, you know what? $4 on the Xbox Digital Store, I can rent it.
Yeah.
Versus Sony's like, you want to rent a movie on our fucking PS5? Go fuck yourself. So again, that's why I thought that was weird. I know that's really specific. I argue not a lot of people use the quote unquote entertainment store in the Xbox, but I use it all the time.
Yeah.
If I put like I think I spend like honestly like maybe 20, 25, maybe like 20 a month. Especially now, like definitely pre-COVID, not so much, but during COVID, I would say I rent like three to 4 movies a month. Again, same thing. I feel like watching this. I feel like watching that. I feel like watching Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Fuck it, $3 to rent.
And I think that's, I think that's a great point too, as far as like the power of nostalgia, watching a lot of these great movies. Like I had that recently where like, I want to go through the Matrix movies. I want to watch the Kill Bills again. Like, so definitely I think there is a market for that. And speaking of, medium platforms, do you have something else?
Yeah. So two more things I want to say is a little bit more on the Phil Spencer thing. Is I wish he got like a little more respect. Like people love Steve Jobs, and I'm like, you kind of an overrated asshole, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah, he's unequivocally an asshole.
Steve Jobs, went in front of the world and said like, I invented this, and it's like like kind of Bill Burr on Conan Made a Film was like, no, he went to a group of nerds and was like, make this, all me, fuck you, Steve Wozniak. Who's Steve Wozniak? Fuck you, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, I have more respect for John Ives than I do for Steve Jobs.
And and it wasn't really arguably till his death people started learning of like, no, all these other people did shit. And so for me, it's like, you hear like modern day CEOs, whether it's again like Steve Jobs to a point, even Bill Gates, all these other like not only by money but just like respected CEOs, and you can say arguably Phil Spencer is leading currently now the most profitable industry in the world, and he's not. At least, again, like outside the gaming aspect of it, just in like mainstream stuff like that, he's not getting anywhere near the respect and can't think of the word that he's owed. Again,
I think you're right. You are right. I wonder if that will change if, in fact, these apps go everywhere, like he's talking about. that'll change. But you're right, yeah, because we've been praising, you know, his efforts for the longest time, just because like he understands the gamer more than any head or executive chief or CEO. Then as far as the customer, he understands the gaming customer more than any other CEO.
Yeah,
you know, so
and you know, and again, now that and you know, I think you know, I think give or take a year, we're gonna start hearing his name in more aspects more than just gaming, because again, you know, gaming arguably is the most profitable industry right now, in the world combined.
Yeah,
and again, microtransaction alone is like $120 billion annual fucking industry, and it's like. And even prior to that, he saved Xbox.
Yeah,
he saved Xbox.
Literally did.
And that's my little thing, my little soapbox. I wanted to add again to like why, you know, we respect Phil Spencer so much, not only as a customer, just as a CEO, as an entrepreneur. You know, that's the word that trends. Well, as a self-made entrepreneur, it's like, okay, well, fine. There's like, name your favorite entrepreneurs or CEOs, and for me, Phil's at the top. Yeah, but the other thing I want to add to like how he wants Game Pass and the Xbox app on all devices, really random, but I thought it was just a really funny but really good partnership. It's like there's this new thing that if you get a Crunchyroll subscription, you get 3 months of Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's really odd. Again, really odd on a specific example, but again, know your customers. Shot in the dark, people that will play games watch anime.
It's a great fucking and sales for not only just Game Pass but the consoles shot up in Japan, like extensively, more than they've ever seen generation consoles sold in that area.
A shocking amount. Like it's not to say like home turf, but Nintendo and Sony have understandably been the king of Japan consoles.
Yeah. And
like this past generation, Xbox has boomed out there. Yep. And again, it's like with, you know, I would argue maybe with Sony announcing, next gen games are $70. It's like, you know, whereas people in Japan, it's like, Game Pass what? xCloud, huh? You know what I mean? And, you know, and we argue, or not argue, but we mentioned how like when Preston was here, mobile really hasn't gone too quote unquote mainstream here in, like, I would argue the quote unquote West, like Australia, England, most of Europe, and here the US.
Yeah.
But again, in a lot of Asiatic countries, mobile's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Mobile's a big thing.
China,
mobile's a big thing out there, you know, including, you know, Japan, Philippines, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mobile's a big thing out there, and in those regions, Sony and Nintendo have killed it. You know, Sony. You know, I remember even that one commercial for a PlayStation 3 where it was like a random jungle in like Southeast Asia, and then they're playing a PS3. I forgot, but I just remember that image. I just remember that 30-second image of people running, and all of a sudden, like, it was supposed to be like I
think I remember
an
that.
Aborigine tribe or some shit, and they're playing a PS3, and so it's mentally and statistically, Nintendo and Sony have killed it out there. But again, like, to an shocking amount, Xbox and Microsoft have been killing it.
Yeah, and I think Sony needs to fucking wake up and pay attention to this, because, you know, if they're trying to expand markets the same way, or at least just kind of capitalize, and if they realize that, you know, when it comes to, you know, Japan really having more of a interest in Xbox versus the Sony consoles, they need to do something when it comes to first party. A lot more.
Dude, how you looking to expand if you're losing home turf, my guy?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Anything else on that before we transition?
Oh, like I said, no, that was
good
it.
points. Good points.
Like I said, that was it. I think it's just worth noting that we have come to we have now grown up, and we are in the age that we can say gaming is the most profitable industry on the planet. And we're gonna see some interesting updates in the next few years. It's
Sorry.
it's just
it's the gamer in me.
yeah, it's like hey, like, you know, like, fuck you for all the jokes, like, you play games in your basement, fucking nerd. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. We're king now. Suck it. It's like, you know, again, it's like movies, Netflix, all these shows, you know.
Yeah.
Good. Finally starting to see good shit out. So that kind of tended it over to that.
Seriously.
But that's my little soapbox.
It's funny. Xbox this, Sony.
Dude. I love it, man.
Last time I did that, it froze this, so I was a little worried.
Oh.
I was like, oh shit, the horn that stops it.
It's like, what was it when we mentioned Team Fortress 2? Let me just leave this picture of a coconut. Oh no.
Exactly. It's load bearing.
The load bearing coconut JPEG.
So moving on here, I wanted to talk about, speaking of conglomerates and whatnot, I want to talk about Amazon and how they have a policy here that I found really interesting to further discuss. And so, according to Engadget.com, the title of the article, Amazon ditches policy claiming ownership of employees' personal games. The draconian rules have been in place for over a decade. Says here in quote, Amazon has reportedly scrapped the policy that claimed ownership rights to any games that employees created outside of work. Under the previous rules, the company required employees to using Amazon products while working on personal projects and to distribute those games on its storefronts. Those policies are no longer in place, according to Bloomberg. In an email to staff seen by publication, Amazon Game Studios head Mike Frazzini said that the company was dropping the rules immediately. These policies were originally put in place over a decade ago, and when we had a lot less information and experience than what we do today. And as a result, the policies were written quite broadly. Frazzini wrote, he's full of shit. Engadget has contacted Amazon for comment. And then I'll read this here. It says, Amazon received a backlash over the rules after an engineer who interviewed at the company disclosed Amazon personal games policy. The rules granted Amazon a royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid-up, perpetual transferable license to the intellectual property of games its employees made off the clock. The policy was decried as draconian by some developers when now a deleted tweet from the engineer gained traction. However, Amazon isn't the only company that has enacted such a policy. Google also had been accused of claiming ownership of employees' own external projects. End quote. So this is very interesting. I feel like it's not necessarily a new thing, but what?
I'm just re-laughing at the joke I made prior to us recording. This is the first season of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
That's literally that was the whole thing. The premise of Silicon Valley is he makes a program outside of work, but because he was an employee of the company, oh, that's ours,
dude.
But I did it outside of work. Fuck you, it's mine.
No, you're right, dude. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's funny that Amazon had this policy when they weren't like, they didn't do dick as far as games for like that long ago, and like, oh, it's just an old policy. We didn't have enough information. I'm like, whatever, dude. I was like, you guys got caught. Your hand was caught in the cookie jar, and you guys pulled back because you knew you get backlash.
I don't want to backlash. I don't want to shit on people's parade too much, but if anyone out there is honestly excited for any game Amazon makes, please don't be. Again, Amazon's not in it for the love of the game. They're not in it because they love the gamers. Not in it because they like the industry. They're like, what can we do to get a fat fucking check?
Yeah.
Case in point, real quick, their new MMO coming out, The New World, has openly has paid shortcuts.
Yeah.
Now they got backlash during the beta, and they said, okay, we'll withdraw them for now. Emphasis on not forever.
Yeah.
Now you can't say, well, Arthur, Ubisoft has them too. It's okay. I shit on Ubisoft just as much.
Yeah.
But again, when you hear things of like X company is dipping their foot in the gaming industry for the first time, shot in the dark. It's not for the love of the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So again, another thing that's funny is they had this policy implemented, and their first game, the Crucible, they fucking shot in the face themselves.
Yeah. I just found that comical. But as far as just like when it comes to really talented developers and coders and whatnot, and trying to creatively control them outside of the job that they're doing, it's weird to me. Like, yeah. it's like what I'm doing now, if like where I work, if they controlled that or own that, like that's weird.
Really random, but sort of the way I'm going to connect these two things is, hey, if you're a game developer and you fucking hate Amazon, quit. And hypothetically quit and try to get hired. Remember we called it kind of like I forget the Avengers.
The super team.
The super team. Yeah, remember when all the news was breaking? All these people were leaving these companies after decades in the industry.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Wouldn't it be cool if they found like a fucking super team?" And they did.
Yeah. We'll see more and more of those.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Hey, if you don't like working for Jeffrey Bezos, super team whose actual name I fucking forget.
Yeah.
But really random. Wouldn't it be cool if we get an announcement from them, like even not even teaser, just an announcement of what games going to exist from that studio, E3 next year?
That would be lovely. That'd be a great fucking episode
and
too.
Biasly, do you know what would make it even better? Microsoft Studios acquires new studio.
That would be a grand day.
And I know it sounds hypocritical to say, hey, they left X Studios. And so wouldn't that be bad if they got bought by another one? I'm like, I haven't really heard of like a groundbreaking of like, it sucks working for Microsoft. The Game Pass is shit as a developer. It's like, this sounds pretty good.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that would be pretty cool. Again, that would be pretty cool for like the people that left Blizzard, the people that left BioWare, the people that left Sony's that one studio. All sense like one shows a game at E3, then like the next year or something like that, bam, acquired by Microsoft.
We shall see here. And this next story here, a little bit on the dark, sad side, but it was something that was roaming around the internet, so I figured we can cover it briefly here. But it says here in quote, according to Gaming Bolt, says Respawn fires Apex Legends lead game designer on grounds of racist and sexist comments. Says Respawn Entertainment recently fired a lead game designer on Apex Legends on the grounds of what I just said that he made in the past. So it says here in quote, Respawn Entertainment fired Daniel Klein, who served as a lead game designer for Apex Legends. In a series of tweets, Daniel confirmed that on social media, and taking full responsibility and ownership of his mistakes. Daniel had made a number of racist and sexist remarks in a blog post in 2007, and in his defense claims that he doesn't believe in what he said now, what he said then, that he doesn't believe. Jesus Christ. In this defense claims that he doesn't believe in what he said now. Respawn Director of Communications Ryan Regley agrees that sentiment as well, and claimed that his actions in 2007 don't reflect the personality he is in 2021. Given how little we know about the matter and the alleged person, it's tough to make a decision about whether this act was justified or not. Apex recently added the new stealth-based Legends tier in recent EA earnings call, suggesting that the Respawn might also be in the early stages of development for the next entry. Well, fuck, I don't want to give a fuck about that, but I wanted to read the tweet here. I want to read the tweet here from Mr. Klein. It says here, as of Friday, I'm no longer working at Respawn. I want to be very open here, and I see that I'm heartbroken and depressed. It's been a very dark few days. So, to put into perspective here, I'll read this tweet first. There's a tweet from Ryan Regley saying that Daniel sent me a video of himself to make me aware of it. Regarding the comments, I don't think anything from 2007 reflects on a person in 2021. People grow up, and accusing him of a possible sexual assault is over the line. You should never say stuff like that without evidence. End quote there. But what I was going to say is that his wife got a miscarriage after this news. So he lost a child like over this and his job, which is like awful.
Yeah,
awful. So my heart goes out to him. Regarding to that, just in general, like that's awful. And I think this is sad, and I think this is another one of those things where, one of those cancel culture, like a shitty and it's a shitty way of like, it's like half-ass activism, in my opinion.
Yeah, and first of all, I can understand absolutely why this article or this story will be divisive. I get it. Especially coming off the tail end of, the Blizzard situation, and, 2007, I have to personally, if I personally look back, 2007, I just left high school. And if there's like it's a joke, but it's true. It's like to a not to a certain degree, but it's like to a point. If we pull party chats of high school ourselves, there's definitely one or two things like that's not me anymore. It's like I definitely it's like again not like hardship, but it's like to a point like that, and this is it. Like you said, it's like people from 2007 to 2021, like people grow, and I don't know. I wonder. I wonder if this is the last we'll see of a story like this. And the thing is, I don't think it is the last. Again, following what's happening in Blizzard, which is justified, of all the crazy shit that happened. That happened. That you can say because of how long it's been happening. You can call it the unfortunate culture of Blizzard that was happening behind the scenes. And for all the developers there, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
But rubber banding to this and like. A quote unquote like, are we gonna see like a new wave of purges? Like, hey, like in 2002, somebody said this. 2001, somebody said that. And it's like that's not again, like you said, it's like half-ass. For not only is it like half-ass activism, but it feels like it's like getting ahead. It's like getting ahead of backlash. That either A wouldn't have come or getting ahead of backlash that's not worth it.
To me it's clout chasing. I think a lot of it for me it's like because some people may say like, well, if he's not that way anymore, why is the blog still up? But it's over 10 years, like it's like over 10 years ago. Like probably doesn't even have the same login information. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not getting into details here, of like someone's discretion, but it's like. A couple things. If you're to read me that story, the exact same story, and then just replace the year of like 2007 with like April 2019. Okay, dude. Yeah. Here's the door. And then two, it's it's like, hey, he based on a tweet, it sounds like he kind of made fun of a supposed sexual harassment thing, which not to sound wrong. If you haven't seen Dave Chappelle's skit about the Louis C.K. thing, Dave did, and then also it's like. I'm not saying a scale, but it's like, was it like an off-comment joke versus like a frequent attendance of like the Klan, you know what I mean? And that's like, again, they're doing to the specifics, but I'm just worried that one fallout from this Blizzard situation, again, is this rubber banding to like from deserved justice of these people getting fired, getting sued, that's deserved happening to all these people leaving Blizzard and the people that took part in it to, hey, again, 2007, this guy did this and got fired, and fortunately the stress possibly led to the miscarriage thing. Yeah.
I think the get out of jail free card that comedians have is that it's within their profession. So like
and that's why I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole too much. I'm just
but no, the jokes were made, right?
I rewatched the special 2 weeks ago.
It won a Grammy for it. Yeah,
I'm not going to quote it here, but again, I just happen to have Dave Chappelle's voice in the back of my head from when I saw it 2 weeks when I rewatched 2 weeks ago. For the third time. But again, this is like you said, it's half-act activism, and again for me, it's again getting ahead of it of like again, it's like Apex is like fuck, that's happening at Blizzard. Fuck, this guy said a thing, like over a decade ago. Yeah. And it's like, again, like, it's like me, it's like, hey, the comments and jokes I make now as an adult, my 30s, compared to me fucking finishing high school, yeah, they've changed.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad too because, I understand the company's position because they're thinking money. They're not thinking morals.
No.
They're thinking if this is going to affect bottom line of a future title or rollout or season, regardless of moral structure, like we're gonna can it. And then imagine if he was, say, James Gunn, right? Yeah. Where he similar thing happened to him, but James Gunn's James Gunn. He's made significant same scenario. He's not the same person. He's made stupid jokes, and then two, he is a very powerful, recognized person in Hollywood. So they were able to be like, all right, slap on the wrist, make Suicide Squad. So,
fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oops. that train of thought went kaput.
But I agree with you. I think it's sad. So my heart goes out to him and his family because that in general. And one thing that I do think that is notable is that he's owning up to it.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not. Because there are people in this situation that's like, kind of has what I call a Scarface moment from Half Baked. Fuck you, you're cool. Fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
And the train of thought's back. Yeah. This feels like a liability over like how like the genuinity doesn't exist, but this feels more like a liability thing over anything.
Yeah.
Again, like getting ahead of it for not a just true reason. Just oh fuck, this happening Blizzard. What's like again liability?
Knee jerk reaction.
It just has that feeling to it.
Yep, I agree. Well said. So moving on here to the last topic of the show today, I thought that was interesting because we finally heard something in the means of Grand Theft Auto, and I know this is more so something that like this will kind of keep us busy as we still wait for Grand Theft Auto 6, but there are some pretty relatively credible sources regarding to remasters for Grand Theft Auto. And reading here, according to PCGamer.com, the title, and I know you like this website, but the title here says, it sure sounds like Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are getting a remaster this year. So it says, continuing in a quote, the three classic PlayStation 2 era Grand Theft Auto games are currently being remastered for PC alongside modern consoles, including Switch, according to a new Kotaku report. The report comes out after recent rumors about the remasters based on takedown notices and mods using classic GTA material. The remasters are reportedly coming as soon as fall, and after several years of eternal delays, coincidentally, Grand Theft Auto 3 was first released on PS2 in 2001. The report does not note that PC and mobile ports are games away, may release in 2022 in order to get console releases out this year. While it doesn't specify precisely which games are coming, Kotaku says that it tips from sources of Rockstar add up to the several GTA matches being in the works at Rockstar Dundee, previously known as Ruffian Games. So it says the rumors circulate over the past year that have pointed out the remasters for GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, the trilogy of games, using the same engine released on consoles between 2001 and 2004. It's the first set of 3D GTA games in the trio that can be comfortably credited with launching GTA in Rockstar's modern fame. I'm just gonna end quote here. Oh, actually, let me read this. The games are supposedly being remastered using the Unreal Engine in a mix of new and old graphical styles, as well as updated UI in the same style as the originals. End quote. So,
as much as I correctly shit on Rockstar for their delay for GTA 6 because they like milking fucking GTA 5 for the third generation or second generation of consoles. Yeah, I said, hey man, if they remake Vice City, I'll be happy. And guess what? If this rumor comes to be true, I will be.
Yeah, you called it. So let me add. Well, I don't think they deserve an applause for this. No. What do you think? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Remember, this is like on par with like EA and Battlefield. We're hyped. We're not going to prove it.
Cautiously optimistic.
They need to learn their fucking lesson. We're hyped, but no applause.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You can't get applause for something we've been screaming about for like 7 years. By the way, many times early into our, to this podcast and us talking, I used to overreach how long the PS2 existed, compared to the Xbox One. My housemate's winning on Apex. How long the PS2 existed compared to the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And you would multiple times correct me saying that the Xbox One existed longer than PS2. And one of the main back of my head Mandela effect reasons is because in one generation of PS2 we got Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Yeah. And in that same 7-year lifespan, we've had one game, GTA 5.
I think we even got Liberty City and Vice City stories as well. But they're PSP ports.
They're PSP ports, yes.
Yeah.
But still new game. But still, no. To your credit, those are still extra games. Yeah, they're ports. But you can so if you want to slap numbers to it, we got 5 Grand Theft Auto games in the same amount of time. We've had one GTA 5.
Yeah.
So that's again one of the like Mandela effect reasons why I just thought the PS2 existed for so fucking long, because of how many, like, for example, how many fucking GTAs we got.
Yeah. God damn it, man.
And by the way, have you seen the thumbnail to this article? It's the scene from San Andreas. Oh shit, here we go again. Oh, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm not looking for if this is true. I hope, and this has some validity to it. I know we don't always delve in the rumors, but this one we definitely wanted to dip our feet into it. I can say for San Andreas, I'm not looking forward to the fucking train mission where you're on the motorbike behind the fucking train, and I'm not looking forward to the cargo shipment shootout in Vice City or the remote control.
Oh my god!
Or the remote control wobbly plane.
Oh my gosh, that was so fucking frustrating. I almost broke my television.
It took me a few times, so it wasn't too bad. But I remember after we talked, because I remember I said, like, it took me a few times. But then I remember like watching my friends play it on their consoles and shit. Yeah, they were losing their fucking minds.
Oh my god, dude!
They were losing their fucking minds at that toy plane mission in Vice City.
That might have been my first rage quit. Now that I think about it.
Oh, that'd be another good topic, rage quits.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a couple during the Sega Genesis, but man, I was really angry during that fucking mission.
Dude,
no, that's not true. I had PlayStation 1. I had mad rage quits then, but I just remember that significant rage quit for Vice City. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I almost stopped playing the game until I beat the mission. I was like, okay.
I remember I have recent fond memories about Vice City because I played it. I'm not arguably recently, but like 2012.
Yeah.
Because after I left college, I was crashing my sister for a bit, and she had a PlayStation 2. She still had her PlayStation 2. I think she still has it.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I'm in a new town. I have no friends in this new town. I didn't have a job yet. But even later, I got one where I met you. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna beat Vice City. I remember while crashing with her, I rebeat Vice City, and I rebeat the best Fuck You Fight Me Simpsons game, Hit and Run.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah, that's when you can buy all the fucking cars and shit and all the character costumes. And to this day, really random tangent, really random. One of my Drell knows, you get a text from me. I think you get a text from me every other week with no context, quoting The Simpsons. Like, I remember,
and I know all of them because we're so like, Simpsons nerds. Yeah.
I remember one time. I was whatever Simpsons quote. But the reason I did that is because like that game, between the voice lines and also the missions.
Yeah.
My favorite Simpsons quote is SMRT. I am so smart. SMART. That's the name of the very first mission.
Oh, nice.
The very first mission is called SMRT.
That's funny.
There's
the truth and the truth.
Yeah. I think the last time I texted you a text with no thing is like, you said something, and I was like, well, if he's so smart, how come he's dead?
Another classic episode.
We can do a whole podcast in The Simpsons between the two of us.
Oh yeah. There's so much history, so much amazingness there. So,
I want to say one more example of that.
Yeah,
I remember I was so hyped. I was watching The Simpsons because on Disney Plus, and I recorded that scene because I had a Mandela effect of I thought it was wrong. I thought. I don't know why this became a Simpsons discussion. Fuck it. You love The Simpsons too. You know you do. The episode where he was trying to invent things, or he was trying to be like the new Thomas Edison, and then he was competing with him.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was the episode where he says, if he becomes so smart, how come he's dead? Turns out they were doing...
They're like in that orchard thing or something, or Appleseed orchard or something?
It was like Appleseed, but it was a newspaper guy.
Oh,
it was a fake Johnny Appleseed. He trailed around the land throwing newspapers everywhere he went, and if he was so smart, how come he's dead?
And then the lady was just like ignored him. Yeah.
Yeah, just dead silence. I just kept going on. Yeah. So that's the reason why I remember that's why I sent you that text, is because I again had this Mandela effect of I thought that quote of "he's the most smart, why how come he's dead" was from the Edison episode, but it was from a random scene where they're giving a tour of the newspaper factory or some shit.
Nice. That's hilarious. Beautiful things, man, here. And that is going to wrap it up here for the Gamers for Life podcast each and every Saturday, discussing all things games. One of your hosts, Jerrell. With me is my co-host, my right-hand man, Arthur Thomas.
That's me. Not sorry for how much nostalgia we talked about today. That was awesome.
Good show indeed. Thank you, guys. We will see you next week.